Robert, can you tell our S-Class audience about the Save the Gorons movement?
Oh my god, I can't believe you're bringing that up. I can't believe you remember that. That was like, what year is it? 2022?
Over 15 years ago?
That would be probably 15 years ago. Well, when Facebook first started, there was like no other features, but they like one of the first things they added was this little like I guess fundraiser or like charity widget, to which I did Save the Gorons.
Oh, is that what it was? I thought it was a group.
No, it was a charity. It was a charity event.
Did you raise any money?
No funding, which of course led to the death of many a Goron.
Rest in peace.
It was really unfortunate. I was hoping to make a difference in the lives of rock monster men.
Golem people.
I don't really know what a Goron is exactly, but you know what? They're all dead now. I did what I could.
This is going to tie back very nicely into our video game section.
Is it?
Probably. The reason I brought it up was because our friend showed me the J-Wang Fan Club group page on Facebook recently.
That is also something that existed 15 years ago.
Circa 2007. So that I was like, wait a second, there's a Save the Gorons movement.
Do you still have fans?
It's just one fan.
Is it me?
No, it's not you. You left a long time ago.
Good. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't still subscribed to something I didn't believe in.
It's aligned to your values. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, then we're good. Gorons are dead. So is your fan page.
Welcome to S-Class, the highest tier in podcasting. Joining with me today, as always, is the Hyrule Regional Leader of Amnesty International. It is Robert.
Well, I wouldn't say the leader. I think since my movement to save the Gorons failed so horribly, I have been demoted to intern.
And as always, I am your host, Justin.
What do you got for us today, Justin?
Robert, let's start off with some anime and manga. We're going to run through our weekly and monthly Shonen series. We haven't chatted about these in about like a month and a half or two. So you have your pick from this group of 4. Any one of these you want to talk about first?
I think of our shonens, one that I've been enjoying the most is Showha Shoten.
Yeah. Maybe that or something else, but that's definitely up there. Tell me about it.
It's honestly pretty funny. I mean, I guess that's the point when it's a manga about comedy, that it should be funny, but like it takes a lot for me sitting in a room alone, staring at my phone reading manga to actually audibly laugh. And this has made me do it.
Chapter 3 has definitely made me giggle. Like the animal biting skit was very, very good.
It was hilarious, especially like, I don't know, you knew what was coming, but that somehow made it funnier.
I know that this is just like a total rehash of Bakuman, and we've talked about this already, but I think this is potentially going to be better. I mean, I think I might still love Bakuman more because of the content, but I think this is going to be better put together.
Well, I agree, because this is Bakuman, but like the focus is on comedy. And there hasn't really been any focus on the romance since the first, 3 pages.
Oh, it's coming. Don't you wait. Don't you worry about that.
I'm all in on Showha Shoten. I'm really enjoying it so far.
Buy now.
Yeah.
It's going up.
Invest in Showha Shoten.
I also think that our duo is more likable than Mashiro and Akagi.
They feel a little more well-rounded, and it might be because they're older.
Are they? Yeah, I guess they're about 2 or 3 years older.
Because we started in 7th grade in Bakuman.
The other two. But yeah, they also, in Bakuman, they aged to 10 years. They looked exactly the same.
Oh, right, yeah. You really couldn't follow the progress there.
Yeah. But this one, I feel like they bounce off each other well, and they're not always constantly bickering and fighting with each other.
I mean, I'm sure that'll come, but so far I like their chemistry.
How do you feel about the rival groups so far?
I think I enjoyed them. I like the Yakuza looking guy that's actually a sweetheart but doesn't know how to say nice things. I thought that whole bit with him was hilarious, and his partner that is genuinely an asshole.
Yeah, there's a line in there. I sent it to you. It's like, oh yeah, and I'm an asshole just how I look. I was like, that's you, Rob.
I thought it was hilarious. I like the cast that they're developing.
Yeah, I think so. I think this should be good. And anyone who hasn't read it yet, it's only 4 chapters, so I highly recommend checking this one out. Should we go from high to low and just kind of get down to the worst?
We'll keep going down of our Shonen Jump favorites.
Okay, I think Sakamoto Days might be my favorite, but it's pretty close with Showha Shoten. I was falling a little bit low on Sakamoto Days towards the end of last year because the assassination fights were kind of dragging and the characters weren't that memorable or interesting. But then the attack on the JCC arc was amazing.
Yeah, it was sick.
And
It was-
Mr. Tsukimoto, the old man, is like best grandpa. He's so badass.
He opened a door with a sword.
And he hasn't opened his eyes once, and he's like sliced a building in half, like Trafalgar Law style.
Slices a building, doesn't say a word, refuses to elaborate, leaves. We haven't seen him since.
Messes up the guy who messes up Sakamoto.
Yeah. I can't wait to find out more about this old man.
Yeah, they're like, he is like the ghost of Christmas past. Like, he doesn't feel like a real person. He's like the Santa Claus.
And this
but
new
he's
arc
real.
that they're going into feels like it's going to be pretty funny, like more on the side of humor.
Yeah, I like how Sakamoto's going back to school and he just puts on a hat as a disguise. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a good arc.
It's hilarious that our established assassins that are in their 20s are having a entrance exam arc, like 70 chapters into a manga. I think this is hysterical.
It's gonna be so good, and it's Sakamoto at his finest again. Like where everyone's like, "Oh no, I got like a knife. What am I gonna do with this?" And Sakamoto gets like a pen as his weapon. He's like, "Oh, good pen." He just starts murdering the shit out of people.
Once again, it seems like I don't know what it is, but our two favorites right now are the things that are giving us, smiles, making us laugh a little bit.
Yeah, it's like life is hard as it is. So like, bring a little bit of joy and lightness to it. It doesn't have to be so serious all the time.
Now, what of these is not bringing you so much joy, Justin?
That will go fourth. I think the next one, it has to be Blue Box for me. The most recent couple of chapters haven't been excellent. They've been okay. But before that, it was getting pretty spicy.
Good spicy or bad spicy?
Good spicy. Like the end
Really?
of the
Because I've
festival.
liked the last two chapters, but I thought the festival was kind of obnoxious, where I was getting very frustrated with, what's his name, the main character? Taiki? I was getting very frustrated with him. He was kind of being a scumbag.
Oh, he was cheating on your girl a little bit.
It was just rude. It was very selfish. Like, you're out with somebody, and then you just ditch her.
He was helping a child,
But it was unnecessary. The child was already being helped.
but he also got transitive property hand-holding with Chinitsu Senpai.
That's the point. He was just doing everything selfishly.
I don't know. I think
appreciate
he's a
it.
pretty good guy, but I can see he's kind of conflicted.
I like the recent two chapters where we got his senpai's backstory a bit.
Really? Oh, this is so interesting because I was going to say that I've been a little bit bored. Like I sort of sped read today.
Right.
Because I think this story is still very bad at telling a sports narrative. Because you're like, oh no, is Haru Senpai going to win? It's like, who gives a fuck if he wins or not against this ugly big nose bastard?
Yeah, the investment overall in the sports aspect of it hasn't been earned yet, which is unfortunate because I really would have liked this if it actually doubled as rom-com/sports manga.
Yeah, and like I think the only series I can think of that does this really well is Chihaya Furu, which I really love, where it kind of has this balance of sports and romance. But this is 90% romance, 10% sports, and then most other series are 95% sports, 5% romance.
Yeah,
When they try to dabble but kind of fail at it.
but it's harder to care about a small percentage of sports than it is to care about a small percentage of romance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I think we both have the same general level of enjoyment of this, but just complete opposite views on which parts we're enjoying.
Interesting.
I think one last thing is I think your girl Hina is not looking good for her.
Oh, she's toast.
I think
She's toast. I know she has no chance.
Oh, she had that one small opening and she got all prettied up for the festival and
then he ditched her.
and then he ditched her.
It was
But
incredibly rude.
She doesn't know anything right now. She's still
I was
oh yeah.
I was not okay with any of that.
I felt bad. And
See?
she's not even my girl, but yeah,
It was just painful for me, honestly. She didn't deserve that.
she didn't. You know what else is very painful?
Wano.
One Piece.
Wano.
I don't know if
end.
Am I the only one who feels this mediocre about it? Like it's a drag reading every week right now.
I think people feel it, but people that are really into it get so angry at the fact that people say they're not really feeling or enjoying Wano that we're people like us are just drowned out.
People are like, "Oh my god, this reference is 400 chapters ago. How could you not notice this?" I'm just like, who's Zunisha? Who is this person? Like they just keep referencing names that I'm like,
You should know Zunisha. Not the point.
Zunisha's not the elephant of Zoe, or is it the elephant of Zoe?
It's Zoe. It is
Oh,
the
okay.
elephant of yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was one and the same where there's a second elephant. I was confused.
But I
for a
don't
second.
even care
I don't
anymore.
even
That's the
care.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, I obviously picked up on that. I just didn't care.
I didn't care because I was like, I think it is, but I don't really give that much of a shit.
No.
And sadly, this fight of Kid in Law versus Big Mom, which is supposed to, it should be epic.
But I know Big Mom is fine. Like, and I'm so sick of Big Mom. And there's just going to be another reason why Big Mom gets back up and joins us in the next arc. And of course, Luffy has to be the one that actually finally beats her. It's just, I don't know. The stakes have never felt lower for me, even though they should be at their highest.
I totally agree. And it just kind of feels like you need to take all of your strong characters and match them up just to do so. Like, it's almost like a check the box, like, oh, is Zoro busy fighting someone? Okay, good. Did Nami fight that dinosaur? Good. And then you're just checking the box, making sure all the Straw Hats win and the allies win.
Yeah. And now they're out of commission, so I don't have, I have a reason that they're done. It's just, it doesn't feel organic.
No, not at all. I think the only good part of recent chapters was the quick callback to Corazon.
Oh, I always love anything to do with Corazon and Law.
I don't think it made any sense. Like, how did he do that? I don't know.
Yeah. I guess, did he remove the concept of sound using his room? I don't know.
That's kind of
I'm not smart enough. I'm not smart enough to understand how Law's power actually works.
I think it's like the JoJo meme, like, it just
works.
Oh man, this has been a drag though for me.
Yeah, I really want to be out of Wano. I just want like big news Morgans announcing like all the cool shit that happened, but I don't actually need to read Wano. I just want like the newspaper article that comes at the end of every big arc.
Just everyone's bounty is just absurd. I mean,
that's all. Yeah.
Even that, I'm less excited. Like back in the day when Luffy gets a 300,000 bounty, you're like, holy shit! But then now it's sort of like the number is just too big to feel anything
for it to matter.
Like 1.5 billion versus 3 billion is like, okay.
I feel like it's kind of a problem where the thing I'm looking forward to most is Big News Morgan.
Speaking of Big News Morgan, did you know that he ate a zone fruit?
Yeah, well, I actually did know that.
I found that out like last week inside of a Wikipedia article. I was like, wait, he's not like a weird mink animal person?
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah, he's just a weird guy who eats the bird fruit and doesn't
Why does he always stay in the bird form?
I don't know. Strange. Okay. Anything else about our weekly shonens that you want to add in?
I'll just throw it in real fast. My Hero Academia is just as terrible as it's been. That's it.
Are you still hate reading?
Yeah, I'm hate reading it.
Let me know, or let us all know when it gets real bad. I want to hear the spice, because I probably will not pick it back up at this point.
I don't have a hate update quite yet, but it's coming.
Okay, cool. Okay, next update is from me. I finished Haikyuu Season 2. It was very good.
That's about all you could say, honestly. It is very good. And it just keeps getting better, and you just keep wanting to watch it more and more. Yeah. That's Haikyuu.
I've watched episode 1 of season 3, which is a full season tournament arc, or full season, one battle, one match.
And it flies by. I'll tell you that right now, it flies by.
I can only imagine it ending in one way, but this guy has such balls of steel, I've said it before, that I'm just like, is he going to do something I don't expect? I don't know, but I'll keep us posted every time I finish a season. That way we don't get bored of it.
It's so good.
So I'll keep you posted maybe in a month or two.
I'm a big Haikyuu guy. I can't wait till you finish with this season. This season's fun.
I'm excited to like be fully done with everything and be able to talk freely with you about it.
Yeah.
This is exciting for me. Robert, tell us about Castle in the Sky.
Oh my god, it was so good. I couldn't believe that I hadn't watched Castle in the Sky yet. And I kind of had, I don't want to say low expectations, but it was like the first official Studio Ghibli movie. Mm-hmm. So I thought it would be, kind of basic or just kind of not fleshed out yet. Miyazaki not having his form yet. But honestly, it might be his most complete movie. Where like start to finish, the plot makes sense. Mm-hmm. You can follow along. All the story beats add up. It has like a rewarding resolution. It doesn't feel like the ending is just abrupt. It was so good.
It makes your heart feel so full watching it. That's how I felt when I saw it a few years ago.
I really liked it.
I think the only negative aspect for me is that it drags a little bit, or it's just really, really slow. I think I watched it in 2 sittings. I watched like 1 hour, and it wasn't
Mhm.
because I was like, "Oh, this sucks." I was just like, oh, "I need a little break," and I watched it a few days later. I watched the second half of it, and as a whole package, I really enjoyed it. But that'd be my only negative on it.
My only complaint was the voice actor for the main character, the male main character, in the because I watched the dub for all the Ghibli
Always
movies.
the dub with you.
I think it was James Vanderbeek. He was not good.
That's quite a
But
problem.
Mark Hamill more than makes up for it because Mark Hamill is the villain, Muska, in the
Isn't
dub.
isn't the villain a woman?
No, that's the pirate woman who is a good guy. Well, she becomes a good guy. She works with our heroes.
Right.
Yeah,
Who's the villain in this one again?
Mark Hamill. He's the like military guy with the glasses. He wears a suit.
Right.
Yeah,
I got to think about this, but yeah, okay.
I just really enjoyed it. The music, as always, Joe Hiyazashi killed it. Art, beautiful. Miyazaki killed it.
He's just. Oh, you know what? I went to a Studio Ghibli exhibit in California recently. It was super cool. They had storyboards from
Oh,
like all of his different series, and they had like actual props and pieces of things that they
yeah.
worked on. And it
Did you
was
take any
super cool.
pictures?
Not allowed to,
Ah,
but
that's not
I have a
surprising.
picture of that outside exhibit that I can show you. But it
Oh, that's
was
pretty
really
cool.
cool. Yeah.
What was this when you went to California
Yeah. They
a
have
few weeks ago?
yep, they have an Academy
Nice.
Awards Studio Ghibli thing, and they had like little featured parts of like Ponyo and Castle in the Sky and everything, so that you could just sit down and watch like a tiny piece of it, which is cool.
You tell me so much shit that I don't care about, but this would have been something cool for us to have a conversation about.
I don't know how much context you could add.
I don't
Could
know.
you?
It's a nice like life update. Hey, I went to the Studio Ghibli exhibit.
Oh
I think you would have
yeah.
enjoyed it. And then I would have said, yes, I would have enjoyed that. Thank you for sharing that tidbit with me.
You were just like, "How's California?" I was like, "It was good." You're like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
Don't have much to work off of with that.
Could have given me something there.
Next time. Next time. Okay, our last Animanga update: ranking of kings. Rob, why don't you start us off with this one? Can you give us like a brief summary of it?
Ranking of Kings is like Game of Thrones for 12-year-olds,
Uh huh.
where it's, medieval. We always think that a character that is going to do one thing does something else, and every time I feel like a moron for not realizing that this thing was going to happen. Like the character's presented as a bad person, and they're like, "Oh, never mind, she's amazing," and I'm always like, "Fuck, I should have seen this coming."
What a succinct summary of this show. That's not inaccurate, but also I still have no idea what it's about.
It is about a deaf boy that cannot speak that becomes the greatest king in all the land.
Or he's trying at least, and we're just
Nah, he
rooting
will.
for him. We're
Come
rooting
on.
for him to be the
Bochi is amazing.
Boji's amazing, and he's so wholesome, and he just makes these little noises and makes you feel things. You're like,
Imagine
yeah.
being the voice actress for Bochi. Like
wonder
you're
if
making good money to go.
I wonder if they just have like 20 sound clips and they just kind of insert them, or does he actually have to come in and they're like, okay, here's the script.
What is the inflection you'd like on this?
This just happened to you. Go. Curious. But you started watching this before me, and then I finally got into it. In the first 2 episodes, first episode, the very ending, Boji gets into a fight, and I was like, oh, hell yeah. And then the second episode drags it out to give you some sad backstory, and then the fight continues like 20 minutes in. And then
I know we
after
start with
that,
Kage's flashback, and I was like, okay, I get the point here.
I was like, oh, like I get it. We're supposed to like this guy. But after that, episode 3 and onwards, it's flying.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I think I went through the 12 episodes that were available in maybe 6 hours.
I think I stayed up till 5 in the morning to finish up to episode 14 at the time. Like 3 through 14, I just like killed it. And it's been ever since then, it's been great.
It's just fun to get like a medieval setting without it being a shitty isekai.
Yeah, and it's also just not stereotypical anime at all. It's just a story. It's just a story, and it's this really cute children's storybook type of art, and it's not your typical big-eyed anime girl with big titties, and everyone's just so unique and great designs.
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. And I rarely like tell people like I really think you'll enjoy watching this, but Ranking of Kings is what I've told you to watch and what I've told some of our other friends to watch as well because I really do enjoy it.
Best three characters.
Definitely the Queen.
She has turned a leaf on me in the biggest way, and I love her
Uh,
stupid armor.
yeah, I love the Queen. Bochi is obviously amazing, and Despa.
Okay, I'm totally on board with all of these.
Yeah.
When they go to meet Despa, I was like, why is he so pretty? And then they zoomed down to his pants, and I was like, what the hell? Like, he's got these big ass fluffy pants, and I'm like, what is going on?
I'm always a sucker for the mentor too, like the Master Roshi, the Jiraiya.
But Despa's also low key a piece of shit, but he's also such a good guy. I cannot get a full read on him.
That's the thing. You really don't have a read on any of these characters.
No, they're so nuanced. Everyone's like gray. It's not black or white.
Yeah.
Even the villain, you start have a tiny sliver of sympathy, even though this person is totally evil at this point.
Really, really hardcore evil.
Yeah.
But I'm sure at some point we're going to sympathize.
Yeah. So maybe we'll talk about this when the season ends. We're on episode 17 right now, and maybe we'll just wrap this up in a couple of weeks when it's over.
Most definitely.
Okay, cool. Let's move into the video game section. So I have a very brief Breath of the Wild update. So this is why I actually also brought up the Goron movement. So I finished 2 of the beasts a while ago, but then after that I was like, I'm so sick of these divine beasts. I have 2 goals before I put this game down. Number 1 is to meet the Gorons, because I met all 3 other clans except for them. And then my other goal was to uncover the entire map. And then I said, after that, I can put this game down, which I finally did. And I gave it back to my friend who I borrowed it from. So shout out to Brian.
Wait,
And
you're done with it?
I'm done with it for now. I don't have the energy to go into all the mini shrines and power up my hearts and my energy. And then to do 2 more divine beasts. I'm like so tired
so you
of
didn't beat the game?
I didn't beat the game.
Wow.
I think I will one day, but I would be trudging through it, and I didn't have the energy for it right now. So that's where I'm at.
Doesn't sound like you intend to beat the game.
Maybe I kind of want to like see it through. I want to see Zelda. I want to fight Ganon, but like I don't want to fight these electric Ganon and the water Ganon and the fire Ganon.
No.
And
I'll be honest with you. The divine beasts were also my least favorite part of the game, but you spend 30 minutes on each and then you move on.
It took me
just
way
for the sake
more
of
than
getting the game. Oh, well, yeah, you're kind of a moron, so I'm sure the puzzles were difficult for you.
I'm not going to argue with that. But can you at least empathize or sympathize with where I'm at?
I do. I did not enjoy the divine beast in the least.
Yeah, I wish I did, and I wish the bosses were more interesting. And how much more do I have after the divine beasts? Like, if I just want main story completion,
you can beat the game whenever you want. Honestly, you don't have to do all the divine beasts to go fight Ganon.
What?
You can give it a try. I mean, it's going to be harder, but you can fight Ganon whenever you want.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't think I'll win because I only have 6 hearts right now.
You'd get murdered.
I don't have fully upgraded armor yet either.
Yeah. I don't think you should fight Ganon, but you could.
Maybe I could just meet him. I also want to meet Zelda because she's gorgeous in this game. This is best Zelda, I'd say.
Well, you don't really meet her until you beat the game, unless you find like the little memories, which I somehow doubt you found any of.
Are these the ones where you get flashbacks of all of your old friends?
Yes.
Yeah, I've met a couple of my old friends.
Okay.
So I hear Zelda a little bit with her British accent.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Forgot about that part.
You're so lukewarm on this game. It's interesting.
No, dude, I love the parts that I love, and I really dislike the parts I dislike. Like, it's highs and lows completely. Like,
yeah.
I'm not bored with it. I'm like frustrated or happy. One last thing about this, because I finally uncovered the Gorons. I think we've talked about this before, but I love how we have these like gigantic rock people, the bird people, the fish people, and then just really large Middle Eastern women as the as the 4th diverse group of people that
the
you
4th
work with.
mystery like group. Yes.
Yeah, just Arab women, and
it's been that way for a while too.
I think it's hilarious.
You got fish people, you got bird people, you got rock people, and then you have desert people that exist in our world.
Specifically desert women that hate men.
And they've been around for 25 years.
Japan's such a fascinating place.
I don't think we'll ever understand it.
Nope. Robert, tell me about this game that you were supposed to hate. And I'm gonna insert a sound clip from a few podcasts ago just to paint a picture of how Rob was feeling at that time.
And if this looks that bad, imagine how bad it's going to be when it actually comes out.
Tell us about Legends of Arceus.
It's a good time. Look, I will fully admit that I said a lot of bad things about it before it came out. And the things that I said about it that were bad are still true. The game looks awful. It runs terribly. It looks like an N64 game. It plays like an N64 game, but it honestly is really fun.
How many hours have you put into this N64 game, Robert?
40.
How many more?
It's got a really good gameplay loop. It's fun and easy and quick to catch and battle, and you can just so seamlessly go from everything that it feels like you're earning things very quickly and smoothly and in a way that feels like you're earning something. And you're constantly working towards rank ups and you're working towards completing Pokédex entries. It's fun.
So you like this game?
I do. This is the most fun I've had with a Pokemon game since probably Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's high praise.
Well, it's not better than them. I'm just saying it's the most fun I've had with a Pokemon game. In
no, even so, it's like this. Yeah. That ranks it in your top 5 Pokemon games, I'd say.
I probably, yeah.
I think it, like I said the first time around, I think it's cool that it's totally innovating on this overworld concept. And it's a 3D adventure game. I get that the graphics aren't great. I don't think it's N64 level, Rob.
I'll tell you right now, the frame rate is N64 level.
Yeah, you can feel it.
No, there are times where you're looking at a bird Pokemon flapping in the wind, and it might be moving at a frame per second. It's like it looks like you're just using a flip book very slowly to watch its wings flap. It's pathetic.
Okay, that's pretty bad.
It is. It's terrible. And then there's the pop-in where, like, if something even like 5 feet ahead of you, the flowers still haven't like loaded. So it's just like as you're, riding along on your Stantler, like the flowers are still like appearing. It doesn't look good, and it's a little frustrating. It kind of takes you out of it, but it's fun enough where it doesn't ruin the game.
It's curious that they have a game like Breath of the Wild that came out, 5-6 years ago, and they couldn't just like run it on a similar engine to that.
Especially because Breath of the Wild was built for the Wii U originally.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild came out on the Wii U as well.
And it runs perfectly. So yeah. I'm just curious why they didn't follow a similar path. And I don't know if it's because the memory of 250 Pokemon is too much.
It's because they rush these games. It's the Pokemon Company just wants these yearly releases. They want these games out as quickly as possible because they know they'll sell. They're not spending as much time on it. Breath of the Wild, they probably spent 6-7 years making. This game probably had like a 3-year cycle.
Okay. Would you rather have waited for this to be better in 2 years? Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. I've waited 12 years for a decent Pokemon game. And I got this, which isn't even
12 years is long
a well
enough.
Put together, game.
Okay, well, overall, I'm glad you're enjoying it still. That's great.
It is. It's fun. I like it.
Want to share your 6-man roster with our listeners?
Hisuian Electrode, Hisuian Decidueye, Hisuian Samurott, Hisuian Typhlosion, Hisuian Braviary, Hisuian Arcanine.
You have a theme here.
Well, yeah, I used all the new Pokemon.
Yeah, I got it. Very cool. Update from me. I played an hour of Untitled Goose Game.
So you played all of Untitled Goose Game?
Have you played it?
No, but I'm aware of the fact that it's like maybe a 2-hour, 3-hour game.
Yeah, so people have sung this game's praises for the longest time, like since it came out, and like, oh my god, it's so fun, even though it's so short. And it finally went on sale for $10. I was like, okay, I'll bite the bullet, I'll play it. And the first hour or so, or 45 minutes, was like really fun. I was co-oping it with my buddy when I was out in Cali, and like we were like wreaking all sorts of havoc. But that's all I want to do. Like, I don't want any form of difficulty while I'm playing this. I just want to like cause mayhem as a goose and like steal people's keys and throw them in a river and just destroy things. But then you have a to-do list, and some of them are a little bit frustrating to get done. And I was like, oh, like oh, take off this guy's slippers. Okay, I can take one of them off, but I can't take off the other one. Like, I don't want to have to use my brain and think about how to solve these problems. And I was like, okay, I'm going to put this down for now. And I don't know if it was just my state of mind at the time, but I just wanted to like wreak havoc and have fun with it instead of actually problem solve.
And then eventually it takes away the fun of wreaking havoc and makes you play a video game. And you're like,
Exactly.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I just wanted like a Goose simulator to just destroy things. And then people are like, I was reading comments and people were like, that's because you don't understand that this is a stealth puzzle game. And I was like, I don't want a stealth puzzle game. I just want a simulation destroying game.
And you didn't get that.
No, I mean, it's still really cool. I love the art style, and it is fun to be the goose and bark at people or honk at people. And
Honk.
I will finish this later on. I will spend one more hour and beat the game.
Do you remember that book in elementary school about the goose that used a chalkboard to write?
Oh, he had
people?
one on his neck, right?
Yes.
With a string.
Okay, so I didn't imagine that existed.
I don't remember what it was about, but that was a thing.
I think he played the bugle as well.
That I don't remember.
I might be wrong.
You're just making up your own fanfic version of this. Robert, let's talk about Banjo Kazooie.
It was fine. It is definitely a 3D platformer from 25 years ago. It feels its age. I know a lot of people like hold Banjo Kazooie as like one of their favorite games of all time, but like the entire time I was playing it, I was kind of fighting with the camera, fighting with the controls, and honestly wishing it was just Super Mario 64.
Did they port it like they did with 3D All Stars, like Mario 64?
No, it's just on the N64 emulator.
Oh, so they did nothing to it.
The straight game. I wanted to enjoy it more than I did. I got decently far in it. I didn't beat it. I'd say I played about 5 hours and said, you know what? I get it. I've had enough. I gave this game a very fair chance, fair shake, enjoyed what I played, don't need any more.
Did you play Banjo when you were a kid? Because I never played
Not
it.
really. No,
Okay.
I didn't own it. I played it at a friend's house, but I never actually played through it. I don't know. It was fine.
No crashing issues this time?
No, not like Paper Mario, which I still dread that moment happening to me again.
What is your current state of Nintendo right now? Because it sounds like Legends of Arceus might have brought you up a little bit, or are you still in pure hatred mode?
I'm still reeling from losing my Paper Mario save file, but the year looks like there's some fun stuff releasing, and it started off pretty good with Legends Arceus.
And also, you get Fire Emblem Warriors coming out, so I know you're really excited about that.
Stop.
The pain continues. Last video game on the docket is Digimon Cyber Sleuth.
Oh, dear God.
This is still a really bad game, guys. I don't know who's commenting that they enjoyed this game. There are only two enjoyable aspects about this. One is combining your Digimon to make new Digimon or digivolving them. And the other aspect is there's this arcade in like the base area that you stay in, and the arcade level lets you fight against stronger Digimon and you get reward money, and it's like really satisfying because otherwise you're just grinding against really weak guys. But if you advance too far in the arcade game, it stops working. They say, oh, it's in maintenance mode. And you can't even go to the old ones. Like, I would replay the level 3 arcade version over and over again if I could, just to like have a better way of grinding and fight some guys who are more interesting and fun to play against. But just out of order. And I've gone up 2 or 3 more chapters and it's still out of order. I'm like, this is the one thing I was really enjoying about it. And I was like, okay, at the very least, I will collect all of my favorite Digimon from the show and I'll call it a game because I'm not enjoying the story. But then I had this existential crisis. I was like, I am 29 years old. I'm going to collect these Digimon. I'm going to collect these 20 Digimon that I really love. And then what?
And then what?
And then what?
Nothing.
Like, I'm not playing this with anybody. I'm not sharing this with anybody. And I'm just going to sit there with these little digital bastards and be empty and having wasted like 40 hours of my life.
So instead, you can have an empty life and an extra 7 hours.
Essentially. So I said,
yeah,
this game, I archived it. I'm putting it away for now.
Damn, you hit it with the archive too.
I hit it with the archive. I was like,
that's ruthless.
There are 2 games in this ultimate package, so maybe next year I'll play the second game. I'm done with this first one for sure,
Archived.
and that's where I'm at. I think with
Yikes.
with these 3 video games that I played in January, I think I'm kind of done with video games right now, and I'm just gonna go back to like reading books or something for a month and being a productive human. I don't know.
I'm kind of down with that.
Maybe we'll do a segment next month, and we'll just do like S
Book
class
club.
library time and talk about the books we read because
Let's
I
do
need
book
a
club.
break. S class book club. I'm so done with video games at the moment. Although I do have some lined up for later in the year, but I need a refresh.
Is it time for breaking news, Justin?
It's time for breaking news. Morgan's breaking news. We're gonna change the name of this
Big
section.
news, Morgan.
Big news,
Breaking
Morgan.
news.
Any of these items catching your eye, Rob? You want to talk about first?
No,
Nothing.
nothing interests me. None of this breaking news is actually that breaking or interesting. I mean, I guess it's I guess look, it's definitely interesting how much Microsoft paid for Activision.
$68.7 billion. It has no impact on either of us.
No, I don't play any of these games.
I was like looking it up. I was like, oh, like Blizzard does Overwatch and Diablo. What else do they do? Call of Duty, Sekiro, Banjo Kazooie, Spyro, Candy Crush.
No, they don't do Banjo.
I think so.
No,
No,
Banjo's owned by Rare.
Oh, Rare. Okay. Why did
Yeah.
you say Banjo on that then? Okay.
Well,
weird.
Microsoft owns Banjo because Microsoft owns Rare.
I see. Maybe it was just
Yeah.
a list of games owned by Microsoft now.
Right.
So this list might be totally wrong.
You might be way off. No, it's definitely Diablo, definitely Overwatch, definitely Call of Duty, Spyro, World of
Wow.
Warcraft. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't give a shit.
No, it doesn't matter to me.
Do you think this
It's
impacts
a lot of money, though.
68.7 billion? That's insane. And it was all cash deal.
That sounds suspicious.
We're just sitting on a boatload of cash, which is insane. But do you think this is going to have any impact on the landscape of video games moving forward that we'll notice?
No, I think Microsoft tends to have their games go multi-plat anyway, so I don't think any of these are going to end up being exclusive to Microsoft.
Like it wouldn't hurt Nintendo. It might hurt PlayStation, if anything.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see that happen, and if we do, it won't be for quite a few years anyway, because there's still deals where these games have to release on PlayStation.
Yeah, the contract's still running.
The contracts are still ongoing, but none of these come out on Nintendo anyway. And if you're so desperate to buy this game on Nintendo, it's going to be garbage.
Yeah, because
you're not buying Call of Duty on Nintendo Switch.
No, I think it's a totally different kind of person playing these games. Like most of these are shooters or kind of like more mature dystopian or adult games, and it's not what we play. Or people who are big Nintendo stands are not going to be into a lot of these, I think.
Yeah, Spyro is pretty dystopian.
Yeah, it's a dark world. Could you hypothetically though play some of these on the Steam Deck though?
I mean, I suppose, but if I were to get a Steam Deck, it would only be to play Sonic Adventure 2 Battle handheld.
You don't think they're going to come out with that on Nintendo Switch?
If they haven't yet,
I don't know, man. They just released the announcement of Earthbound last week.
Yeah, but Nintendo owns that. They don't own Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. That's Sega.
That's true.
It'd be sick, though.
The other piece of news we have is Steam Deck has released over 520 playable games. 370 of them are verified, I believe is the number. And I was looking
One of them is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I'm sorry, it's not Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, it's just Sonic Adventure 2.
Which is a totally different game, right?
No, it just doesn't have the battle.
Oh, okay. So you can still race
I think
around.
It just doesn't have the multiplayer mode.
Does it still have the Chow Farms?
Yes.
Maybe.
It would have to, honestly.
I don't know how they would just rip that part out of it.
I don't think you can.
I don't think so. I looked at this list of games, like the big titles, and I was like, I don't play any of these games either. It was
once again
God of War, Psychonauts, Sekiro, Horizon Zero Dawn, Yakuza, Death Stranding, and I did play Okami, but I don't want to play Okami again, and I think it's on the Switch. Maybe.
It is on the Switch. Okami is a game that I really should like, but I don't.
You didn't like Okami?
No, it's just boring.
I had a good time with it many years ago.
And I don't need to play it on Steam Deck.
It sounds like these two gigantic pieces of video game news have no impact on either of us.
Nope.
Our final piece of news is we watched the Cuphead animation trailer. Robert, initial thoughts.
Really feel like it missed the mark on what made Cuphead endearing.
Really? I really enjoyed it.
What? It just Cuphead was built on like a certain animation style, and I don't think it really nailed it with the cartoon.
It felt more adulty. If I love how everyone's like a Brooklyn gangster.
It wasn't about like the subject matter or the characterizations. It was just about the animation for me. I felt like it didn't feel like that old-timey animation.
Now that you say that, I do realize that they lost a little of the bounciness, like the rubber hose style
Which
wasn't
I
as
felt was the
prominent.
appeal of it.
Yeah, I can see that. But I think for me, it was more curious of how they were going to turn this into a series. And I thought it was really cool that they have the literal devil in it. And I know all of these are actual bosses from the game, but like the mobster fish, I think it'll be cool to add some characterization to these guys and see how it plays out. I think I'll probably watch a few episodes of this and see how it goes.
It's on Netflix, I believe, right?
Yeah, not yet, I don't
Or
think.
it's coming to Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't watch it, so it doesn't matter to me.
No, nothing invested in here for you.
No, it didn't nail what I would have wanted, so I'm out.
Okay. I'll let you know if it's worth anything.
I still won't watch it.
Yeah, you don't take my opinion very highly, so that's fine.
That's not true. I do sometimes.
Rarely. Name one
Occasionally.
time.
Yasuba.
Fine, fair. That one you took it and rode it all the way home.
Exactly.
Now, Rob, I didn't tell you about this section, but we do have a special section I'd like to talk about.
Bonus round?
A little bit of a bonus round on the 2022 predictions.
Did I win something?
No, you didn't win anything. But I said we have a few questions where we had the same answers, and I wanted to spice it up a little bit. So there are 3 questions I want to modify. The first one is, what 3 characters will be added to Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl? No modifications here. Just initially you said 0 characters will be added. And I said, you only get the points for this if you get 0 characters. I am rescinding my comment. You get a point for every non-character added. So if only
That's
one...
what I wanted to do to begin with.
Yeah, you're right. You agreed with me, but I was wrong. You get a point for everyone that's not added. So if only 2 are added, doesn't matter who they are, you only get 1 point.
We good.
That's in your favor. The next question is, the Wano arc will conclude by the end of 2022. And this means that they are on to their next adventure, not Wano related at all. And we both said this will end this year. We both agreed on that. But I would like you to put in a date, a Sunday this year, that Wano will end. I already put in my dates, so it does not impact either of us. And I will share it with you once you make it.
Now, let's call the official end of Wano is the chapter after Big News Morgans announces, we get all the bounties and all the updates of everybody around the world reacting to what the Straw Hats did, right? That's the official end of every arc.
I would say so, although I would say an exception to that would be if they announce an Act 4 or an Act 5, and we are in Act 4, that's the end of Act 3, and then Act 4 continues, then I'd say we're technically still in Wano.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a second, because I do have a thought process with this.
Also, I think one more thing is I need them to be off of the island.
That's 100% fair.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to do some quick math in my head. I will say 30 weeks from now, which is about... I'm going to say October 16th.
Oh, you're further than me. Interesting.
I'm going October 16th. I'm accounting... Did you account for Oda breaks and holidays?
I didn't even think of it mathematically. I just gave myself a birthday present, and I said August 28th. So right around my birthday.
With the thought that Luffy vs. Kaido will be probably 15 to 20 chapters, and I'd imagine that's going to be starting in the next 3 or 4 chapters, plus we're going to have at least 10 Oda breaks. Or Oda breaks plus holiday breaks.
I swear to God, Rob, if Act 4 shows up and the Kabuki player starts playing, I'm going to cry.
I don't think I could do it.
I'm going to keep reading because I hate myself, but if Act 4 and 5 exists like a traditional Japanese play, I'll be so upset.
Miserable.
The other question I want to amend was, Anya from Spy Family will earn 2 or more Stella stars, and we both said no. This is now split into 2 questions. How many Stella stars will Anya earn by December 31st? And how many...
My answer is no.
How many Tenitris bolts will she earn by the end of this year?
My answer is no. She's not earning anything.
0-0.
0-0. My reasoning for this is I just feel like Spy Family wants to take a slower pace.
I went with 0 Stellar Stars and 1 Tenitris Bolt. So we're still the same on one of them, but I think that this adds a little bit more parity to our end of year.
I feel you. I think these were good calls on your part.
I think we also need a grand prize for the Emperor of the S-Class Dynasty, and I think that will be the other person, the loser, has to watch at least 13 episodes of any series of the other person's choice. Equivalent to, what's 13 hours? Equivalent to 4 hours, give or take,
of content. Okay.
So it could be 2 movies, it could be 13 episodes, or half a season of something, whatever you want. And it has to be anime related.
And they then have to make a video about it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, these are stakes. These are real stakes.
So how long, does it matter how long the video is? At least like
no
5 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair. 4 to 5 minutes.
4 minutes.
I mean, it can obviously go beyond that, but let's say 4-minute minimum.
And 12 episodes.
These are real stakes here.
And the Emperor also gets to choose whether or not they can they have to watch it together, or they can go on.
Oh, I like it. All right.
So, like, if you just want to let them sit in their misery, or if you just want to say, Rob, you have to go watch, say, Onisan the entirety by yourself.
Enjoy finishing Squid Girl, Justin.
Oh no!
And then making a video about Squid Girl.
My nightmare. Okay, our final section of the podcast, emails.
Oh, buddy, we got an email, don't we?
Oh yeah, we do.
Wait, actually?
We do. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Go ahead, Robert.
I was just saying hi to them. You can read it.
Hi, guys. Really love the podcast. With Valentine's Day around the corner, I wanted to ask, which Smash Bros. Character would you want to take out on a date? Much love from Bankai King.
Well, Bankai King, that is a very interesting question, and I have a very interesting answer for you.
Let me pull up the roster.
Captain Falcon. No, I don't need it. It's Captain Falcon.
Why? Is it silver and pink Captain Falcon, or?
They don't call him the fastest man on Earth for nothing. Wait a second. I'd like to make a new decision. My answer is Pyra.
Pyra? For what reasons?
I just feel like we'd have good conversation. I feel like we'd enjoy eating the same thing. The big titties.
The high stockings.
Yeah. The normal things.
What date are you taking Pyra out on? And what if Mithra's like, I need to tag along too?
Have you ever been to that like trampoline place?
Bounce?
I think it's called Bounce. Yeah, we're going to Bounce.
Sounds like a good time. I can't imagine what will happen there.
We'd have fun.
Physics is a beautiful thing.
I got a 66 in physics, so I'm not sure how anything would happen. So
I think I have 2 answers. The first one is female Byleth mostly for the stockings. We might join you at Bounce. Might be a double date.
That sounds great.
That sounds great. Maybe we should just do that in general. Have a double date at Bounce. My second answer is Jackie Chan Me Brawler.
Ooh, wild card.
Because I would love to just go on a date with Jackie Chan and have no trouble at all.
That's beautiful, Justin. I don't think we should go any further than that here.
Yeah, I think we'll call that a day. Okay, guys, if you want to send us an email, you can send it at sclasspodcast@gmail.com, and that's if you want me to respond to it. Or if you want to have a question directed at Rob, you can send it our Instagram or his Twitter, which is
sclassrob.
There you go.
At.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. We'll catch you guys next time.